more and more about as we go. We know there's some populations that are more prone to it. For example, female soccer, basketball players are about 3 to 5 times more likely than the study read to sustain them. Some I think it goes back to athleticism, like we talked about, with sports specialization. Do they learn as a young child how to jump and how to land properly? Have they trained their muscles properly before they go and try to do specialized activities? One of the things, and Malcolm raised this point last night in the folks that we had, is the role of proprioception. We've done a lot of working on muscle development and working on speed development, but how much do we do on balance and actually know where your body's in space and being in control? So when you jump, you come down and land properly. And I think a lot of that goes back to the science of strength conditioning. Traditionally, a lot of things we've done in strength conditioning have just been because that's the way it's always been done. And we did heavy squats because they've always done that way. And we ran, or did plyometrics because they've always been done that way. And I think we've got to advance our sports science more. There's been some interesting studies looking at prevention. I think our goal in sports medicine is always prevention, but we have to be realists. No matter how much you do, some things are going to happen. But I think there's definitely some things we can do to minimize it and try to prevent it.
Yeah, I would amplify on that. Actually, coincidentally, just before I came here, I was reading 2 papers, and it was on the very, very low incidence of ACL injuries in female ballet dancers. And it actually compared the female ballet dancers to female soccer players. And when ballet dancers, they spend their life jumping and landing. And you talk about proprioception. You have to be so exceptionally balanced to land just right. And when they're landing, I mean, their knee angle, everything is lined up perfectly. So, but if you're landing and you're over-specialized, and what we know in female soccer players especially, is that they're much more one-leg dominant for kicking. And so if you're really, really very, very dominant as a right leg kicker, that means your left leg is stabilizing you when you kick, but your right leg doesn't have a sense of stability. And if you jump and land, and you don't have great neuromuscular control, that means that all of the forces then are being transmitted to the ligament. And the ligament isn't designed to withstand those forces. So it gets back to, and this is, we're really just learning all this and coming to appreciate it. These papers were just published. It's about the exceptional neuromuscular control, and as Malcolm did say last night, proprioception, which is your sense of body awareness. And I think we really have to do a much better job of that. But I really think we can drive, and we're going to be discussing this in the soccer summit coming up, and then others. But we have to really drive that whole sense of what we call the kinetic chain continuum. That all of the parts are linked properly, and so when you are executing it a certain way, that the neuromuscular control is taking over, and you're not putting the stress on the ligament or the joint itself.
Well, we have just barely scratched the surface on all these